Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me, please? Please let me know in the chat. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to me on this live broadcast about your brand resume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys come in. I'll take a breath. And I'm going to mic up. These live broadcasts always get my nerves a little bit. It may take me a little couple of sentences to feel at ease. So, where are you guys from? Let's start there, and I will. Now, this will go out to a lot of people who don't know who I am, and as far as credibility goes, I will guide you to my brand resume. How about that? What is a brand resume? Okay, first of all, guys, I need to keep this under between 45 minutes and an hour. What I will ask you to do, since this is in fact, come on in, perfect. Can you guys hear me and see me perfectly? I hesitated there because there's nothing perfect about this cat. It's always a little nerve-wracking at first on these live broadcasts, but thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to jump right in, okay? Those of you who know me, let's keep this short. I'll give you a resume summary, and you'll know why I'm doing this further on in this broadcast or this event or this live webinar. Today we're covering the brand resume. I'm going to ask you guys, if anything, if there was any training or webinar you've ever attended, this is the one where you'll need a couple of things. You'll need one of these, many of these probably. As you'll notice, I have 5 pages of notes. It's because I'm condensing the information, and this needs to be ramble-free. I will be myself. I can't help that, but these notes will keep me in line, in check to what needs to be delivered for you to basically rewrite your identity. Cool? Not cool? Do you like your identity? We're going to jump right into it, okay, guys? This is a brand resume versus a job resume. This is what this whole hour of power will be about. Now I'm getting a little more at ease. I'm grooving into it. So I think we're going to start with that. What is a brand resume? I'm talking personal brand resume. What is a brand resume and what can it do for you? Well, first of all, my name is Marc Lalonde. You can see what my resume looks like at thewealthytrainer.com, but we'll get to that at the end because I want to focus on your brand resume. First thing we're going to do is, let's talk about the differences. Maybe I'll start with what my brand resume has done for me. I sell stuff. Okay, I sell stuff. People ask me, what do you do, Mark? What do you do? I want to, I just don't understand. You're talking about how to, 7 steps that you used not to get bullied as a child. And meanwhile, people are watching your videos all the time and I can't stop seeing you. What is it that you do? I sell stuff. I sell either my products. I mostly sell products of other people and get my commission, or I quite often help, probably more, the thing I do the most now is I help people sell their stuff. And what I found was that my brand resume is what's doing it. I kind of connected the dots and it brought me back to my younger years when I was in computer consulting. I need to stick to the script, but what I will tell you right now is that by the end of this hour, with your notes, for free, you will be able to start building your brand resume in the correct way. And what it's bringing me is, and what it will bring you is, let's go right to the final result. And then we'll go into the differences of a traditional job resume. I'm looking at the clock. I just saw 444. Traditional job resume and a brand resume, what the differences are, they're huge. It's a completely different thing. So actually right now, who's got a resume for a job? Put that in the chat, please. I'd like to check that out. Who here currently has a job resume for when you, I don't know if you still apply for a job or if you fired your boss, but do you have a job resume? Please put it in the chat. Well, I'll chime in a second here. What has my brand resume brought me? I've numbered the pages. We've got 4 pages. And one thing about me is the page I'm always seem to be looking for is the page I can't find. So what has my brand resume brought me, and what does it continue to bring me every single day? Speaking gigs. I don't know if you want to these things in your business. We'll share what I get out of my brand resume, and then you'll be able to relate or not, or adjust or not. Let's move on. Let's move along. Not move on, move along, because we're on this topic. It brings me speaking gigs. Speaking gigs would be monthly, 1 or 2 per month. Television appearances, not so much. I've done a few. I'll share some with you. Again, because of my resume. What's on my resume? People check out your resume. Your brand resume, we're going through the differences in a sec. It's brought me podcasts and radio guest appearance spots where I'm the featured guest. That's what I mean. I'm not doing the podcast. I'm invited to be the featured guest. Massively huge connections because of my resume. When I refer to resume throughout this little 1 hour or less training, I mean brand resume, not job resume. Let's just go through what it brings me all the time. Connections, daily. I saw your online resume, but what they say is, I was at your blog, but you'll understand what I mean by this ain't your mama's regular or your grandma's. Your mama's? This ain't your mama's blog. Could be your mama's blog, but it ain't your regular blog. But this is what attracts people. They can dig in, and it's built like a resume, as you will see. Connections from influencers. You may know a few people I regularly chat with. I'm going to humble brag because I'm not only connected with these people, all the ones I'm going to mention right here, I've had chats with, okay, through LinkedIn. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Number 1 being Dan Pena. What's up, Dan? If you see this, wow. Who isn't a fan of a billionaire? Multi-billionaire, I believe. He'll like me saying that. If you know who Dan Pena is, the $1 trillion man, it's a big deal. Tom Billier, we've chatted. Bob Proctor, Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, Sam Ovens. That's a big one for me. To name a few. That's what my resume has brought me thus far. People asking me to buy my stuff or want to join me in what I'm doing, that would be a daily thing, multiple times per day. Okay, that's what my resume brings me. The more I build on my resume, because it's built the correct way, and I'm syndicating it the correct way, the more of those things I get. The most consistent one is people who want to buy my stuff. Okay, so if you need to sell more stuff, you're going to love my story. I need to share my story to what brought me to a brand resume, which makes me credible to teach you on how to build your brand resume that will bring you all of the stuff I just mentioned and more. I've only been in this business 5 years now, and you'll understand through my journey how I ended up at the Holy Grail. This is the Holy Grail. It all leads to, let me see your resume. What do they ask you when you go for a job? What do they ask you when they want to? I'm going to get into it deeper, but we got to move on because almost 10 minutes. That's outrageous. I've got notes. See this? Brand resume versus job resume. Who took a screenshot that fast? Nobody. And since we're live, you're probably saying, put that up again, please. Do you have your camera phone ready? I'll show it to you at the end. Fair enough? I'll show it to you, and we've got another 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll share it with you at the end. Is that cool? Will that make you stay, or is that like a forceful tactic? Okay, see the real Marc's coming out. I got to chill out. If you don't know me, I I can get distracted easily, and I can have a little too much fun on a very serious topic. This is what's happening. Snap back into it, Mark. Self-hypnosis. Okay, brand resume, job resume. Job resume is to get you a job. Brand resume is to bring you business. They're different. They're different. Job resume, it's for an employee, someone who wants to be an employee. These are generally speaking, but they're pretty darn accurate. I just kind of jotted them down. I didn't have enough room at the bottom of the page, so these are just a few differences. A job resume is for an employee. You want to get a job to be an employee? A brand resume is for entrepreneurs. A job resume is for a salary. It's for some kind of fixed salary. They're paying $100,000. It's for the salary. That's what your resume is for, to get that salary. A brand resume is for a fortune, which has no ceiling. There is no income attached. It's a fortune. Okay? So salary for the job resume. Brand resume is this is why it's so important, and nobody has it. You have a brand resume. You have a job resume. I'm sure everyone does, but you don't have a brand resume. That's for a fortune. Job resume, okay? You'll be asked to be a speaker for sure because you're told to. Get in front of the boardroom and explain module number 44.4 and how the polymorphism works in those objects. Okay? You're told to go speak in front of the staff. I did. I didn't want to. I was no passion. Okay, I'm not going to hate on the job world because I'm extremely grateful for my career in computers. I was a computer consultant for 18 years. Jeez, that's a long time. That's a long time. I've been retired for 7 years, by the way, because of my brand resume. So I said, you speak because you're told to. With a brand resume, you get asked to speak because you're asked to, not told to. Big difference. In my job, I was told to speak. In my brand resume, I was asked to speak. You get paid very handsomely. That's a side note. Job resume for a paycheck, a fixed paycheck. Kind of goes along the salary. For a brand resume, it's for profits. No ceiling again. Paycheck, job resume, profits, brand resume. Actually, I'll show you guys. I'll let you take a screenshot as soon as I'm done. Job resume is for popularity and fame is not encouraged. Actually, it's discouraged. You want to keep your mouth shut, do the job you're told, and keep it. Keep your job. Nobody likes to show off. Nobody likes to show off in general, but I think you're understanding where I'm going with this. A job resume, don't show off. Popularity, fame, influence is not encouraged because you're taking someone else's job. Popularity, fame is darn encouraged in the brand resume. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but you want to trample your competition if you're in it for the good. Okay? Yeah, you want to crush your competition if you're the right person for the job. And you want more influence because your voice gets larger. People, it's not about being the show off, it's about getting attention and being heard and getting bigger and building your audience. It's encouraged. You want that. When I had a side note, my job, when I was going for jobs with my job resume, if I started spamming my job resume all across all the headhunters in the computer world, they would talk to each other and they'd be like, they wouldn't like it. It's too much. Getting a little too much attention and bragging and not bragging, but you know what I'm saying? It's popularity is not that well encouraged. It's not that much encouraged, but in the brand world, the more you're out there, the more your audience builds, the more you're omnipresent, the better. So go quick. This is going by really quick here. I just need you to see the importance of a brand resume. Maybe this ain't for any of you all. Maybe this ain't for you. Maybe this isn't for you. Let's go through it. Job resume. Maybe you love your job and you're working on your next job resume and you don't want a brand resume. Maybe you found yourself here and you'll hear me through for the next 20 minutes. Okay, I'm dropping it like it's hot in the second year. You'll understand through my journey what I went through. whether this is something you need to create or something you don't. Generally speaking, if you're an entrepreneur and you sell something, you sell stuff, this is the best way to do it. Let's go. Job resume, keep yourself to yourself. Yeah. In a job, aside from water cooler, this is a big one. In a job resume, you don't talk about you liking to skateboard or you liking to play golf. You don't put that on a job resume. Well, depends. But in general, no, you keep yourself to yourself. You just put your skills and tactics and experiences, so on and so forth. On a brand resume, you want to be yourself 100. The kids are saying that today. 100% yourself. We're going to get into that big time. That's a huge difference between job resume, brand resume. Job resume, stay equal. This is a competition thing. I'm kind of revisiting. You're safer if you stay equal and shut your mouth in the job resume. Don't show off. Yeah, it's actually almost the same thing as popularity, fame. You want to, in your brand resume, you want to be better than everyone else. You want to be number one on the leaderboards. You want to generate 7 figures a year in income. You want to display that. Okay? I do. I definitely do. I think it's important. I think you can show, if you make a couple of million per year, which I do, I put it there. It's there. I think it's important. I got screenshots of checks. I got leaderboards from different companies where I go number one. I put them in there. It's encouraged to show your achievements more. Your peers, stay equal. Okay, I ran out of room. We got more. You guys get the idea? This is what this is about today. Building your brand resume. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you my story. Time is flying. Look at that. 17-7-11. 7-11's my angel number. And I watch a bunch of people drop out. Yes, it's my angel number. Cheers. It's a sip of Rockstar. I need energy to go quick and give you guys the story. See if this is for you or not. And just as a side note, I couldn't help it. Just as a side note, without my brand resume right now is the most important thing, and it's actually the only thing that matters. All roads lead to my resume. Should I get into this now? No, I'm going to share my story, and it's within. So, my call to adventure, okay? I've been selling stuff for a little while now in order to escape my daily job. I was a computer consultant. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to start my own business. I failed miserably along the way, but I did find a product in the wellness world that I would sell. So I started selling it. It's pretty well that simple. I started selling the product, making commissions, selling more of the product. It was a weight loss program. So I'd sell it, not mine, someone else's. So it was pretty much like an affiliate deal. I loved it. I get stuff at wholesale price, I sell it. So I started selling it and selling it and selling it. And then I found that it was still kind of like a daily grind. So I saw people online that were influential, and they would talk about how business would come to them. And it was kind of like a unicorn. Okay? Is that possible? People come to you and ask to buy from you. So I'm going to start dropping names, okay? There was once a man, I got to share my story. This is how it went down. I was grinding. I was selling enough product to, okay, we got to get this straight here, because I was making about $200,000 a year in computers. $200,000 to $250,000 in computers, but I did not like my job. I did not like having a boss. So even though I was making less selling protein shakes, I enjoyed it more. And I was my own boss. I had my own hours. So I took a hit, but it was still a grind. But it was worth it. It was half my income. I was making 10 grand a month. So from 20 grand a month, well, yeah, pretty much, to 10 grand a month. It depended in consulting for a lot of factors, but it was about 200,000, went down to about 100,000. So I took a pay cut instantly because I just told you. This is my story and I'm sticking to it. A lot of people know this that have read my brand resume, but I found someone online. Here we go. His name was Ray Higdon. I don't know if any of you heard of him. He teaches people to build teams, okay? So to build sales teams and lead to those sales teams. So I started following Ray Higdon on YouTube, and he was in a program called My MLSP. We'll just leave it at that. And I didn't know what that was, but Ray Higdon was I know he was getting a lot of sales come to him because I bought stuff off of him. I'm one of those people. Like I was watching him online, I'm like, what's he selling? I want to buy it, and I bought it. I went into something he was selling. So that's when it clicked. I'm like, if I'm buying off him, how many other people are? So what's he doing? I want to do what he's doing. So he mentioned something called MLSP. It's irrelevant. That didn't work out for me, but it opened up a new world to me. Now, what I did was I saw him say it in a video. It's not that it didn't work out for me. We're about to get very specific here. I heard him say it. Leaders follow leaders. Leaders follow leaders. They don't follow leaders. Success leaves clues, so on and so forth. So what I did is I looked up what that was, because all he said was in one of his videos, he said, I take my education in MLSP, and then this, and then that, and then the other thing. And I'm like, what is that? So I would like rewind the YouTube video, and MSRP, like I put in MSRP, like in the Google, what is that? So I found this platform online. We're going back 4 years. And I went into it. I didn't know what it was. I was all by myself, no sponsor. And they're talking about doing videos and putting out content. And I'm like, this ain't happening. I'm not doing videos. There's no way I'm doing videos. Providing value. And like it was such a new world to me. And I just said, if they're doing it, I got to do it. So I did it. I started getting some success. But I did not like I wrote it down. I gotta be careful here. I didn't feel right about the transactional nature of it all. Even though I was a salesperson, I didn't join Ray Higdon because he sold me. He didn't sell me. I just watched him. I liked him. I thought he had a cool personality. And I bought off of him without ever even talking to him. That's what I was searching for. That was the holy grail. How does he celebritize himself to that point where people just come to him? And I knew it was happening. I could see it all the time. He was ranking up in everything he touched. So when I joined this platform, I was doing okay. I mean, I got number one on all the leader. Humble brag. I worked very, very hard, and something didn't feel right. So it's almost like I was doing well, but then I kind of said, no, I'm gonna kind of pivot a little bit. I did. A lot of things. I felt like I was still kind of like not completely free. Not that I felt like I was still kind of working for someone a little bit. There were rules, regulations. I'm not saying be a rule breaker, but it's something, it was so transactional. It was almost like everything was for sale. And I was selling, but everything was for sale. So I started searching for other leaders, not within the platform, but they helped me, and I'll forever be grateful for them because they opened up this whole world. It's just I was pivoting. I was just pivoting as I was going in my journey, and then I found this guy online that completely changed my world. Completely changed my complete outlook on everything. I call him my initial mentor. Can anyone guess who it is? If you guys follow me? His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. I bought his book, Crush It. Let me have another sip. This is getting interesting. We're 25 minutes in. I'm okay with this. It was called Crush It. I read the book, and it was over for me. It was over. I didn't know how to monetize that. I didn't understand the whole thing about Gary Vaynerchuk. When I first found him, I hadn't connected the dots. I think I liked him because he said, he swears a lot. If you're going to look him up, I didn't like that about him. No, I didn't fall in that school. I didn't fall into school. Believe it or not, I was looking for serious business information here. But it's what he was teaching. Believe it or not. I wasn't going for the whole F this, the F bombs. He is pretty funny, but it's what he was teaching. He was teaching to be yourself and not to be so tied into, boxed into a niche or boxed into, share pieces of you. If you like, I don't know, what is it, Labradoodles? If you like poodles, Labradoodles is out there? Golden doodles. They're like poodle golden retrievers, I believe. Whatever it is. Or if you, it could be anything. If you like pepper on your strawberries, which is exquisite, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. But if you like putting pepper on your strawberries, you would share that. Like, what does that have to do with business? This is where he differed. This is where I went for the call to adventure of this online thing, but it didn't feel right. So I kind of got out of it a little bit and kept searching, found another mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk. And when he was saying, be yourself and provide for free, just give it all away, give everything you know, and it will come back to you. Trust the process. I was like, you got to have faith for that. And I'm just going to make sure. It was over deliver for free. That's his whole thing. Provide for free. Sales will come. Have faith. Your brand is you. You're not cornered into the box of a niche. You know, what's your message? That brings me to Gandhi's quote. What's your message, Gandhi? It's not, I help people get more sales so they could attain freedom in their lives. That's not his message. His message is his life. My life is my message, is Gandhi. So that felt perfect. Something inside of me, I'm gonna make sure I stay on track here. Okay, it's taking way too long, but it's okay. We're getting there. It all leads to your brand resume, but you need to understand my story because as I'm talking here, I give everything away for free, and I made $4.4 million last year. What did I sell? We're getting to it. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I'm going to continue with my story because I'm looking to break. It's unbelievable. You're going to see how all the dots connect in a second here. So I said, leap of faith, baby. Crossing the threshold, they call it in the hero's journey. I said, let's do it. Let's start giving, learning, testing, getting a bunch of leads, finding out how to get leads on Twitter was one of my things, and giving it away, and start giving it away. And then the failures begun. So I had faith, I went for it, and let's talk about the trials and failures here really quickly. We're almost half an hour in. If you guys know me from online, many of you probably don't. Like 90% of you probably don't know who I am. My name is Marc Lalonde, thewealthytrainer.com. This is extremely efficient for me. I could ramble on. I've done 4-hour webinars. I know it's almost half an hour in. This is good time. We're doing well, just so you know, compared to old me. My failures. Why did I fail? Truth is, guys, I didn't fully commit. I was still, let's look. I was still very transactional. So I wasn't sharing enough of me. There was non-business related. Sounds kind of like, why does that matter, right? Why would you want to share things that are non-business related? You're trying to sell stuff. That was the problem. All gurus kept saying, pick a niche and stay within. I let their opinions dictate my path. I did. Like when they say, they go, nobody cares about how you stopped bullies from bullying you when you were young. Who cares about that? How are you going to sell more wellness stuff by talking about that in a video? I let them deviate my commitment to the process. And then another one was, who cares if you love skateboarding? What does that have to anything to do with selling more wellness stuff? That's another reason why I was failing. I wasn't committing. And that kept me boxed in. So I was like my statements and my videos were very much like how to get more sales in one phone call with a series of questions that you will ask based on the responses. So they were good. I was sharing good information. My content was solid, but I was boxed in a niche. I wouldn't talk about why when I'm scared to do something, and if I'm about to get out of my comfort zone, that's when my greatest, like getting on camera, for example, those are my greatest successes. But what am I going to do? Like, talking about how I bust out of my fears? I use triggers. I use gestures. I use sense. Like, that's not, again, according to many people, it's still value, but then I didn't even go deep enough. I didn't go into why I like taking long walks on the beach, y'all. Okay, so I didn't fully commit. That's why I failed. So I still had to go get sales. Sales were not coming to me. Now, how did I get out of that rut? I went back to focusing on my mentor, Gary, and not listening to anyone else. Gary was my initial mentor. I wish I had his picture behind me, but you're going to see him in a second because I'm going to share something with you, a super quick clip. I stopped thinking transactionally, and I started to, this was the rebirth of me. I started documenting my journey. So if it's date night, it's date night. If I'm making, if I want to lose an extra 10 pounds this month, well, then I'm cutting out my carbs. I'll share that. I'll share that journey. And if I'm going to make a sales call or going to a business meeting, here's how I prepare. I would document that. So I started documenting everything. If I want to start a new business, I'll share that. So I'm still selling indirectly, but not really, because that's my life. I don't know if do you guys understand the difference? I'm sharing my journey. Now, here's what I'd like to do. I've been harping on this for a long time, those of you who follow me, when they say, well, a long time. I've been harping about this for about 3 months because my boy Gary, but I never really committed to it until recently. My business is off the chain because of this transformation, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug a video that just aired last week on the Gary, the Weekly V Show. Is just a little clip. Because every time I tell people that, they're like, what should I talk about? I'm like, talk about what you do. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? Do you like Rubik's Cubes? Throw that in there. They're like, what? So, don't take it from my mouth, take it from the horse's mouth. Let me plug this short video in right now. It's 30 seconds. This just aired last week. And when Gary said it aired, yeah, last week. When it aired on the Weekly V Show, I was like, this is it. I'm screenshotting this and I'm going to share it on my next webinar. So here it is. Check it out. I'll be right back.
So like I started a YouTube channel, and like one of the questions I wanted to ask you was like I'm having trouble like finding a niche because like I like do so much shit. Like obviously I played football.
I don't think you need to find a niche. I think your niche is that you are that human being.
Yeah.
Football, After Effects, small town kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure 17 other things you haven't told me yet.
Yeah.
Your niche is you, the human.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, I need a niche, which actually means I need to stay narrow in something and just talk about football.
Yeah.
That's the reverse. You need to be as broad as possible, but fully you, which becomes your niche. That's me.
Yeah.
I talk about, you know, the Jets. I talk about sports cards. I talk about wine.
Yeah.
I talk about business, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not a niche. I'm broad as. My niche is that I'm Gary.
Yeah.
That's your niche.
I didn't know about that.
And that's right, because I'm so pumped Brandon came to film, because that's like one of the better ways I've articulated. It's crazy, bro. Good news, you're about to be in a video that a lot of people are gonna watch. That just helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Similar to when I said document, don't create.
Yeah.
Your niche is you, the human. Everyone's holding back their full self, and then they're like, okay, I'm only showing people 3 parts of me, and I gotta pick one. So they go this narrow instead of being them. And that actually is the macro niche.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, because like everyone on YouTube, like watching how to grow and shit, it's all about like you have to pick a niche, like be SEO, like that's how you do stuff. But in reality,
that's
like,
transactional. That's how you get subscribers and views. But long term, don't build actually something meaningful.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? You understand?
100%.
Dude,
yeah.
like.
Okay, am I back? What'd you think? I bleeped out the swear words. There were quite a few. Now, let me ask you this. I'm looking at the chat. Did that video and the time we spent here together so far, did this give you a little bit of a paradigm shift of how you want to create content and put out there? Did it? For me, it did. It was my rebirth. It was literally my rebirth. Now, I want to get this right because I don't want to miss anything. When I say rebirth or resurrection of Marc Lalonde, I murdered the transactional mindset Marc. I killed him. I go, I'm not going to be an upfront sales guy no more. I don't know if some of my mentors would appreciate this statement, but I killed sales. Excuse me. Too much of this. You know it's live when. I would have cut that out for sure. So guys, let's see. Okay, good. I'm going to ask you, is it kind of refreshing? Is it kind of refreshing the fact that you get to share yourself and your journey more than being so boxed into your content? Now, I know I'm going to get off track because I'm very passionate about this rebirth. I killed the transactional mindset Marc, which means I killed the sales process, the upfront sales process. Buy my stuff because it's the best. I killed that. I did well, but I was going to get the sales. They weren't coming to me. I killed it. What did I rebirth? I gave birth to value providing, non-agenda driven Marc who shares pieces of himself along the way. For free. Value Marc for free. That was my rebirth. So when I say shares his journey, those are I call them my adventures and my travels. I document my failures. I have a fan base who follows me and they see me when I slip. I mean, including alcohol. I don't drink. I used to drink. I used to take drugs. I don't take drugs. There was one moment in time where I slipped. I shared it. Is it risque? Not to me. It was literally like taking a... Did I sell more stuff? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do I share more? Do I sell more stuff when I talk about my love for cats? Hell yeah. Connections are created at scale now. So that was my rebirth. Kind of like an awakening, okay? Revelation. I finally changed. Atonement, they may call it, in the hero's journey, which is a resurrection, a rebirth. Now, here was the problem. I'm about to receive a big gift. And this is going to be the coolest part of this entire webinar for me. Are you guys already going to, like with what you have seen so far, have you gotten value, and will this change your way of creating content? Does it make sense to you? Because I don't need to ask you if you think I'm right. I'm going to use one of Gary's lines. I know I'm right. I know I'm right because I wake up with an inbox every single morning of people asking me about what kind of cat I'm getting, or that they're proud of me because I quit alcohol, or because how my mom's doing in her treatments right now. All the things that I talk about that are non-business related have changed my entire business and the way I do business and the way I provide content. Now, here was the problem. This is where we're going to a brand resume, a central location for all your stuff. Social media is scattered. I put content out there. This is going to get really fun for me. I'm going to show off a little bit. Social media is a little bit everywhere. You don't own the social media. What if somebody wants to watch more of you? What do? They scroll down your Instagram, or they go down and look at your Facebook timeline. Come on, really now? Your Twitter timeline? What if you had a kick-ass piece of content that has to do with making more sales? 3 questions you need to ask your prospect in order to close them instantly. But you did it a year ago and it still works well today. And if someone sees that, they're in. They're like, I want to work with you. I don't care what you sell. I don't care what you do. I saw that video. I'm in. To what I want to work with you, is what they're going to say. Or I want to buy from you. If you think that's not true, it's very true. Now, here was the problem. And here's where I received the gift. This is going to be a humble brag. My mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk, was leaning towards the idea of a brand resume. And he was leaning towards this just a month ago. He had that revelation. He said, what if I have a spot where I put all my videos and it could be searchable and people could look up like all my content library? He even said that. And I'm like, holy schnutz. Can't swear on these things. I said, I talked about this 2 years ago when I did it. I started a brand resume 2 years ago. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know, maybe Gary Vee saw my video and copied me. I'm not quite sure. I'm joking. I don't know. No, he didn't. But great minds think alike. That's another joke. I'm excited now because what I'm about to share with you is going to change your entire business. It's your brand resume. A place online, a blog, where all your content is housed, where it's all there, it's accessible, and everything you've ever created is your resume. What does your resume contain? Well, your resume will contain things like about you. Doesn't your job resume contain that? Yeah, about me. Should have an about you. It should have your experiences. Does a job resume have that? Of course. Of course. But instead of having your job experiences here, your content is your experiences because you're documenting your journey. Do you see the coalition? And that's probably the wrong word. Do you see the similarities? Your accolades, your wins, your awards, you would put that on your resume, your job resume. Why don't you have a brand resume sharing that in the business world? Think about it here. Think about it. Your references, you have references in a job resume. In a brand resume, we call them testimonials. Okay? Do you have who here has a brand resume? Just like a job resume online. It's going to be the mandatory thing. Nobody's doing it. Not the way I'm about to show you. No way. If you had a brand resume, like a job resume that was perfectly built, the way I'm going to show you, you are going to get sales come to you all the time, without fail. Someone wants to know something about you, instead of saying, oh, you go, here's my resume. Go check it out. And when they could, within 2 clicks, access any of your content that you've ever done, including your accolades, your experiences, your testimonials, all in one spot, it's over. They're going to fall into the Marc Lalonde rabbit hole, which is me. They're going to go, oh, then there's this, then there's that. Everything's 2 clicks away. This brings me back to my consulting days. When I consulted in computers, I could not fill all the job offers I got. And this is where something clicked. This is where the Gary Vee talked about this a month ago. 1 month ago. I'm going to prove it to you. It's like he invented it. It was unbelievable. I'm like, dude, I did that. I publicly came out with this in a video, and I called it the clog. I called it the clog in a video, and I implemented it. Nobody else was doing it like at this level. I called it a clog because it's a content log. Where, anyways, it's a brand resume is what it is. So when I was in the consulting world, I had a 28-page resume. I did. And I had my picture on it. Things they tell you not to do that. But with every experience I had, every new job, I worked 32 jobs in computers. I was a consultant. Every job brought value to the resume. So I would add it. I had a 28-page resume, and I had a one-page resume summary that had cross-reference it. I did this. I was a database analyst at this company. Go on page 18 of the full resume for details. So when I would apply for jobs, I had it was a 2-page because it was 28 pages in the full one. So they could look at this resume summary, and if they wanted more on that, they would go and check out the guts of it. Okay? People used to laugh at me all the time. But while they were laughing at me, they were looking for work. And while they were laughing at me, I had job offers coming in left and right. Okay? So as I got more jobs, I remember at one point it was at like a dozen pages, and I was getting more jobs than anybody. Then I got another job. It went up to like 16 pages, 18 pages, 20. And the more content I had on my full resume, it was unbelievable. It was like job offers were coming in so much that I said, look, I can't even work for you for $500 a day because I'm so much in demand. Look, they want to hire me. You'll have to pay me $600 a day just because of supply and demand. They're like, done. If you say yes right now. So I'm like, okay, that relates here. A brand resume, the fuller it is, the more they can look at your stuff. Are you with me? Okay? Are you with me? You guys agree so far? I hope you do. I hope some of you make this jump and create your brand resume. Now, what I want to do is I want to show off a little bit. May I? I want to share, and this will be great for documentation. I want to share when I had this idea of a clog. I'm not saying I invented the idea. I'm just saying at this point, I was reborn. I was resurrected. I was providing pieces of me, just like you saw in the Gary Vee video. My brand was evolving. I was reborn as a value for free, and let's share about me. I wrote that down somewhere. Where is it? I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I want to say, what is that? I want to say it because it was good. It's right here. I kept branding myself. I don't want to miss anything. So, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah. I did a full search. No, I got to share the content log. Would you guys like to see what I still call it a clog. What I'd like to do right now, I'd like to plug in to show off the clip of me when I announced this to the world on an Ask Lalonde show. Yes, I modeled my Ask Lalonde, my last name, Ask Lalonde show, modeled after the Ask Gary Vee show. I model a lot of Gary Vee's stuff. Obviously, he's my main man. He's my main mentor. So when I made that decision of a content log, I just started doing it. And it's evolved since. You're going to see the newest version. And when Gary Vaynerchuk mentioned it last month, I couldn't find that clip. If any of you find that clip, let me know, please. I'd love to, on the next webinar I do, my next brand resume training I do, I'd like to include it. But what I did find was just last week, someone asked him about it. What about the Gary Vee search engine? That's what he calls it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's exactly what I'm doing. So my mind is blown. I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. I've been doing the thing that he just started doing, but I've been doing it for a long time. I'm on the right track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the clip of him first. Yeah, him talking about it, how excited he is about it. Find everything in one spot about me. And then I'm going to share the clip of me saying it from 2 years ago. I'm doing what Gary Vee does to himself, but I'm doing it about Gary Vee. It's fun. It's fun because I was right. I was very right. My results prove I was right, but what validates my decision to go this way, brand resume, is that Gary Vee is doing it. So I'm going to even compare. Mine's been up forever. I've remodeled it over the years, the 2 years, but we'll look at mine and we'll look at the one he just released. I was on the right track. It's like God gave it to me, that idea, but it was based on my consulting education. Are you with me? So I'm going to share those clips. Then I'm going to share what they both look like. And then after that, you should be changing. You should be working on your brand resume. I hope I've given you enough juice to really think about how to do that. And I will help you if you want, okay? At the end, after I show those videos, show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you also my when I got everything that's resulted in, top of leaderboards, all that stuff. I'm going to share with you some of my results. I can even show you some income that comes from that, from my brand resume. I'll show you me on my TV spot. I'll show you a couple of images of uncomfortable situations at first when you're not used to speaking and people want to pay you to speak. You just do it. Get out of your comfort zone. I'm going to share some stuff with you. But first and foremost, I want to share you Gary Vee saying it just last week, but he said it a month before. That was when he discovered that idea or thought of it. And I'm going to show you mine from 2 years ago, and then we're going to keep on going. Okay, let me know when you see my screen, please, in the chat. Please. Okay, can you guys see and hear my screen, please? Can you hear me and see my screen, please? That'd be awesome if you let me know in the chat, because I'm on a different mic for screen sharing. This is not an injected clip. I'm playing this right from YouTube, so the sound should pick up. Here we go. To summarize, this just happened last week, and Gary Vee was asked about his new brand resume. His brand resume concept. No, he was asked about his search engine, which, as you will see, is exactly what we are about to implement and what I've implemented, as you will see. So let me play this little clip.
How's your Gary Vee search engine going? What was the idea behind that or the plan?
The idea of that was we built it for ourselves. So we were using it for ourselves. Now we've made it front facing. We've given it a little push. We're going to give it a bigger push. We're making it better and better. At some point I'm going to really push it. It's great. You're sitting here, you're going to fly back to Australia and be like, fuck, I wanted to ask him about this. You can literally type that in and fucking find it if I've said it. It's fucking gnarly. Plus we're systematically structuring the data for voice. Hey Alexa, I want to speak to Gary. Gary, how would I manage a manager who's poison? And then I'm going to start talking. I have to be careful to not show how strategic it all is, you know, because my team it's been written, is what I will tell you.
It's been written by Marc Lalonde. This is where we discovered this idea. I'm being facetious. Okay, so that's what Gary revealed the other week. We're going to go look at his search engine, and you will see that it is our brand resume. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go to my video from 2 years ago, just to show you how much we are on the right track. Let's go. Okay, so I'll just open it. I have it in another tab here. The reason I don't like doing the screen share, I rather inject videos, is because, as you noticed, I'm kind of immune to it, but I wasn't able to clip Gary's language there, okay? I apologize, guys, for all of you watching. I'm so immune to it. I'm like, I don't think he swears in that clip. And yeah, he swore like 3 or 4 times. He dropped the F-bomb. And since we're live, I'll know for next time, never, note to self, never inject a Gary Vaynerchuk video in your live broadcasts without checking them first, or never screen share him. Just for that reason. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to take full responsibility. So here we go. We are going back to April 2018, episode 24 of the Ask Lalonde show. Here we go. We're going to talk one day about what a clog is. The clog is the answer. I don't think anybody's using that. Have you guys heard of a clog? Not a blog, not a vlog, but a clog? I don't know if it exists. I made it up this morning. Do you guys know what, does that exist? I don't think it does. Clog, C-L-O-G. Doesn't exist? Because I'm coining the term. If it doesn't exist, I'm coining clog. Right now, you heard it here today, right now. You guys want to know what a clog is? Hey, Carlene, I'll stalk you too. I'll stalk you. Anybody tuning in, I'm doing some stalking. Who wants to be stalked? Now we'll have somebody tuning in and going, Mark, stalk me, please. Please stalk me, with the wrong idea, if you know what I'm saying. It's pretty unfiltered, right? So, who wants to know what a clog, C-L-O-G? Hey, this will be fun. I get to reveal what's going on in this thing. This is going to be, am I allowed to do a bold statement? This is going to be a real bold statement. A real bold statement. I want to redefine the way blogs and vlogs are built and displayed. I want to redefine it. Let me explain. Who knows what vlog stands for? The V in, who can tell me what vlog stands for? Some people don't know. What does vlog, V-L-O-G, stand for? I want to know. We're going to get some interaction today. You got it, Michael Drake. Video log, vlog, right? Yeah. It's video log. V is for video log. Who knows what blog stands for? Who knows what the B is? A lot of people don't know that either. So video, it's actually video log, vlog. Blog, the B stands for something else. Okay, the B, a lot of people don't know this. It's derived from weblog. Then people kept saying back in the Netscape Navigator days, those of you who remember dial-up, it was weblog. And then even before that, it was that. Just weblogs, MS-DOS, like I'm talking like command line stuff. And then it just became weblog, blog. So the B doesn't stand for anything. It just comes from weblog. So a blog is generally a weblog, like written word, written text. A vlog is video stuff. Like Gary V, for example. Who knows Gary Vaynerchuk? You will rarely see him write a whole page of text. Okay? So it's a video log. Chris Record, a vlog. It's a video log. There's just a little bit of text. Then it's all video, all videos. And then some people like Michaela Alexis, that'll be text with an image. So some people blog, some people vlog. I recommend both, of course. A nice article with a video. The way the proper structure, actually, I just recently figured this out. Some people say, put the video, then put the text below for SEO and stuff. Some people say put the text first and then have the video at the bottom. It's good to have the title, then have the video below text, then put half intro to your article, and then put the video, and then put the rest of the article. But I'm still researching that for the optimum clog post. Okay. Who's ready for clog? Who's ready for what clog is? Clog is a content log. Now let me explain. When you go to a blog or a vlog, you're faced with, in my opinion, you guys be real with me here. Tell me what you think. I know the clog dance. You guys tell me what you think. I find that on a clog, not everything is easily accessible in 2 clicks. 2 clicks is the magic number. So everything you've ever done in your career, is it accessible in 2 clicks from anywhere on your content log? It's a library. It's not a blog, it's a library. It's your library. All the books are laid out. I want to read about the 5-second rule. There it is. I could see it up there. I'm going to go grab that book. I'm on the Wealthy Trainer blog, on my blog. We'll call it a blog for now because we haven't really put clog out there. But on my blog, the whole goal is if you want to see my podcast, or if you want to see my interviews or my testimonials, or you want to see my webinars, my paid ones and my free ones, or you want to see my content on health, or you want to see my content on wealth, or you want to see my life lessons learned, you are always 2 clicks away from any of that anywhere you are. So the library is always there. I believe that's going to be the future. It's your online resume. It's your online resume. Give me 2 more weeks. Go to thewealthytrainer.com. You'll see what I mean. So when somebody says, what do you do, Mark? Thewealthytrainer.com. Knock yourself out. Yeah, but I want to know, like, what do you do? Just go there. Just go there. It'll be so solid. Work with Mark. Ask Mark a question. Mark's bookmark. Mark's question period. And life hacks. Like, it's just, you'll look at the way it's built. Just go to thewealthytrainer.com. It's not full yet. My content has to be populated. And I'm doing a breadcrumbs to make it all. Everything needs to be 2 clicks away. So you'll be able to get to anything I put out there in 2 clicks. Okay. Make sense? We're going to demo that. We're going to do a webinar on that. That's a little more advanced, but not really. Because here's the thing. Your blog is we'll go blog. Your blog is a reflection of you. Your blog is you in digital format. So every time you do a video or a piece of content with intention, so I talk about bullying in one of my pieces of content. Bullying. That'll go in the category, I call it random life hacks. So I have a category like that. So whenever I have something on my mind, bullying has not, I was bullied. Didn't last very long though. I turned that one around quick. But the lessons I've learned in my experience to being bullied, what is valuable to many people, especially in today's day and age. So I make a piece of content like that and I put it in my library. And the fact that I'm putting it in my library, opposed to just doing a live on it and it dwindles away and I syndicate it and that's it, that's all, is day and night. And I'll tell you why. Somebody goes to your blog and they go to check out one post. I got the sweat going. This is the Diva Light, I'm telling you. And they go to one of your blog posts and then they go, oh my God, what else is here? And they start going into that rabbit hole of yours. They get hooked. They're like, what else? It's a library. It's your own physical, digital library. And people will keep coming back, not only for what's going to come out tomorrow, they'll do that, but they're going to get to see every little piece of you just by you sharing one post. If they like your post, what I like to do is I like to cut off my videos. Now, you'll see in my new brand, I'm launching my new brand in about a month, my whole new Wealthy Trainer brand. Branding YOUniversity is one of my companies. The Wealthy Trainer is my brand. If I didn't successfully brand myself, how could I teach branding, right? So I'm getting those numbers up. I'm getting those social media numbers up. And that makes sense. That wasn't even an answer to a question, was it? Okay. So I can't believe I was following Gary Vee for a long time, obviously. As I'm rewatching this with you guys. So as you can see, it's clear that I was copied by Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm joking. But this was the birth or the seed I call it a clog in this video, but that is the brand resume. Couple of things to note here is, wow, look at that video quality, right? We always evolve. It's funny watching back at this. And what's really cool is that I do have multiple companies and they're all doing well because of my brand resume, guys. I'm going to show them to you now. I'm going to show you Gary V's search engine that he just released. And I'm going to show you my brand resume. Now, this is you, by the way. Your brand resume is you in digital format. Your brand resume is your top of funnel to anything you do. Gary V even says that. Here we go. Gary V even says that. He goes, the reason VaynerMedia is so booming is because of him. You are the entry point to anything you do. Okay, so now what I want to do is I just want to say, I want to demonstrate visually why I believe a brand resume is more powerful than a personal search engine. Okay? I'll tell you right now, because it's a personal search engine and more. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you what Gary V's blog looks like and Gary V's search engine looks like. And I'm going to show you what my brand resume looks like. Basically, it's not basically, it's everything in one. So let me go there now. Okay, there we go. We got the big window now. So I got the whole window. Can you guys see Gary's blog? Now, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. I owe everything to Gary Vaynerchuk. I always like to take what I learn, take pages from different books, apply them to what I'm doing, test the crap out of them based on what I learn. Once I test them, get results, analyze my results and my metrics, and try to tweak and come up with a better solution, like any entrepreneur does. So I started by saying that I owe everything to Gary Vaynerchuk, pretty much. A lot of it. I tore a big page from his books, okay? And I mean that like figuratively, okay? And I did tear some pages out of his other books too. They're on my corkboard right here. But here we go. This is Gary's blog. This is Gary's search engine that just came out. This is the Wealthy Trainer blog. So we're going to go through a couple of things and a couple of observations. I want you to look at this as a brand resume because this is what this is all about. It's about your resume. A couple of things to notice too are, let's assume people don't know you yet, okay? With Gary, if someone comes here and they don't know who he is, okay, they have to dig a little bit. It's amazing. It's very crisp. It's very clear. But if you want to dig into his content, and you'd go to blog, right? And you start searching, and again, it'd be the same kind of dilemma, or not dilemma, but the same challenge of what if you wanted to find something on a specific topic, or you wanted to see everything in one place instead of going through scrolls down here. You could search, so you'd go up here, click on the search bar, and let's say I want money. Perfect. Now I'm going to get his blog post with money, but once again, the same challenge. Not everything is in your face. So when he announced that he would have a search engine, I'm going to it right now. This is what I envisioned in the clog or the brand resume. This is what I'm talking about. This is absolutely, and this was the vision. This is the vision of a brand resume. Now, if you don't know who Gary V is, that's an issue. Why do you want to search all his stuff? I'm not saying you don't want to. It's crazy powerful, but let's test it out. Let's look up money here. This is what I'm talking about. It's all there. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of things with our brand resume. These are two places. I believe they should be in one place. I believe a brand resume is your identity. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I know I'm right on this. Everything should be in one place. Your about, your testimonials, your books, your interviews, whatever else you have going on. I also, and again, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm just showing you guys that when you're playing at this high of a level, you want to have your highlights, if you will, highlighted on your front page. And that's what we've done with the brand resume. Now, if you look at the top bar here, you can get access to any piece of content you want. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. If I was to go to life hacks, wealth hacks, since we're talking about money, I were to click that, what you get is instant access to every piece of content I've ever done on one page. If you wanted to go up in the menu and gander, I want to see interviews. Let's go to interviews. You have every single interviewed or TV show or anything I've done in terms of me being interviewed on one page. Does it look familiar? Let's go back to Gary's search engine. Does it look familiar? You see what I'm saying? When he released this and I looked at it literally last week, I was like, this is it. This is it. Now the main differences are on our resume, all the categories are so clear on every page. Testimonials, there we go. What people are saying about Marc Lalonde, the wealthy trainer. You want to go to shows? Let's go to the Ask Lalonde show. 1 click, 2 clicks, okay? It's that simple. You can either play, the way you can play the videos is pretty simple. You just basically click on the video itself, and there it is. Now, what I really, really love about this, I'm not comparing, but I am comparing, because look at this beautiful description that's picking up in SEO on the side. This is incredible. On every video, people could go watch it in full view and read about me. My name is Marc Lalonde. The whole story's here. My mentors are Gary Vaynerchuk. So, I mean, if you look at Gary's search engine and you look at our brand resume, it's essentially kind of the same thing, but all in one place. Now, I like the level of detail. I think it's important to have a level of detail. I'll go to interviews. And again, the categories go deep. I think I'm up to 400 pieces of content thus far. But if you were to look at the detail on the initial page, so before clicking on a video, there's so much detail. Your brand resume, right? It's in your face. The less digging they have to do to find what they want to find about you, the better. I said 2 clicks away, my dream has come true. If you go here, there's not much here. There's a lot of wasted white space. I know he's working on it. Gary, feel free to copy my stuff. Okay, guys, that was a stupid joke. I couldn't help it. I'm having fun here. But Gary's doing okay. He's on the right track. Again, I'm going to stop. The day we meet, he's going to tear me apart if he ever sees this. So there it is, guys. This is the brand resume. This is how I get everything. This is how business is attracted to me. Once I send people here, they come here. And I'm going to ask you guys, how do you feel about all this? Do you feel it's important to have a brand resume? I also want to show something here. There is also a blog on this brand resume, but I wanted to have it in vlog format at the top so that people can have super easy access to any of the shows I've done, any of the, like if you look, you could pick any show in 1 click. Again, this is sharing a lot about me. I'm not even selling a weight loss product now, but I share my weight loss journey because I lost 52 pounds of body fat in 2 months and I documented that. And also, just like a resume, I have an about right here. And this has my entire story from beginning to end. And as you can tell, I keep updating this story and populating it. It's got my story, it's got the entire story, and it's got images throughout. And then, of course, you've got the people I've met, the people I've learned from, the people I've done collaborations with. You've also got, here's my TV appearance. So as I get new experiences, or as I move along my journey, I just continuously update my, that's right, my resume. So if you were to meet me online, or if you were to stumble upon me and you saw a piece of content of me online and you clicked and ended up right here on my resume, would you be more likely to contact me and work with me, or open up some kind of communication with me, or let's get to it, would you be more inclined to buy my stuff or join me in my journey after digging through my resume? Would you be more inclined to do that? Would you be more inclined to contact me if you're a news channel after you've read my story, after you've consumed some of my content, after you've gone on to, let's say, they want to learn. I do a lot of corporate work. I got a lot of corporations that want me to train them on online marketing and personal branding. And they're saying, we're contacting you because we went to your webinar section and we started scrolling down and we started scrolling down and we kept scrolling down. And some of these trainings blew our mind. Like if you look at the Amazon device training, that's an award-winning one. But I'm just saying, all I do is I keep populating my resume, populating my resume, populating my resume, and populating my resume. And the next thing you know, just like my 28-page technical job resume in the real world, where jobs were coming in left and right, well, guess what? I'm populating this just like I did that resume, and the same results are taking place. Is this making sense to you guys? If you did not know me, like 99% of people do not, well, more than 99%, I don't mean in the world, I mean people just don't know me when they first stumble upon me. If you were to land on this, The Wealthy Trainer, it's pretty obvious what I do. If you look at this scrolling menu that automatically slides through, it tells you what I am, what I do. It shows you what I look like. It shows you all my content. It shows you everything a resume should, which would be my about you, my experiences, my accolades, my wins, my awards, my references, of course, in forms of testimonials. And not only does this attract sales to me for people wanting to buy my stuff or join my teams or whatever I'm doing, it gets me speaking gigs, it gets me television appearances, podcast, radio guest appearances by 8-figure earners, by the way, who are interviewing me. It attracts massive connections to me. And there you have it. I think I made my point. My question now is, do you have a brand resume or do you only have a job resume? My next question is, are you an entrepreneur who is trying to sell more stuff? And my third question is, if you do not have a brand resume, will you make one? Will you build one? Will you begin the process of putting one together by building content, by making content and populating your brand resume? I really, really hope so. Now you have enough today to go do this. If you have the paradigm shift I hope I've given you, you can go out there and you can start doing this. And I really, really hope you do. Now, as I put mine together, as I built this thing, you know, because I just proved it to you, I just showed you. I've gone through tons of pitfalls. I've been working on this thing for years. Since the inception of it came into my mind, which is 2 years ago, with the clog, I've been struggling with pitfalls. I've had ups, I've had downs, I've had all arounds. Now I'm finally here. I have a brand resume that's delivering on its promise. So what I'm asking you is, Do you want me to help you set yours up? Do you want me to help you build your brand resume, get the shell in place, go through all the basics of creating your content and populating your brand resume as you gain your experiences? If the answer is no, you can do it yourself, I am super pumped up for you because I really truly do believe I've given you enough to start digging, to start testing, and to start actually producing and creating. I really believe you have enough. You just have to put in some elbow grease, start using Google and YouTube to get the technicalities figured out along the way, and don't quit. Get it together, because once this brand resume is in place, all you need to do is focus on providing content to your brand resume, and I promise you, the rest will take care of itself. I have people that stumble upon this brand resume and they will tell friends and tell coworkers and tell peers. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help some of you. I'm super excited. I put something together to not only facilitate the process of having you create your own brand resume, but it's pretty well taking you by the hand the whole way through. So let me share this screen. Okay, this is Mark here. This is months later. That was the replay. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. The replay to brand resume. Now, in the original live presentation, like I said, you guys just watched the replay, but in the original live event, what I did for a time machine to build your brand resume is I had set up a workshop that was a 3-month workshop. It's already been done. We've already gone through it. It was a 3-month workshop where we set up your brand resume from scratch and where we met every single week for 3 full months. I was selling that 3-month workshop for $2,000. And because of the success of the workshop, what I've done is I've cataloged every single session into an online digital course, and I have gone on to sell multiple copies every single week of this course, which is called Brand Resume and is hosted on this school. Social media is the new Hollywood right here. I'm going to scroll down. I have multiple courses in this school. Here it is, Brand Resume, $2,000. That is the 3-month intensive workshop mentorship. All of the recordings are in here. Even though I continue selling these regularly, I'm not going to sell this to you for $2,000. What I will do is I'll briefly show you what's within this course, and I will basically give it to you for free because you sat through the entire replay here today. Let me just click and I'll show you what's within the course. So there it is, $2,000. That's live on the website. People buy it all the time. I'll go through the course curriculum really quickly. This video right here on the sales page is simply the replay of what you just saw. And it cuts off where we cut off just today. So I'll just keep going down and here we go. Module number 1, job resume versus brand resume. We go into the differences and similarities, comparing my real job resume to my real brand resume. Then we go into the 2 brand resume goals. Simply said, the brand resume really only has 2 goals. Goal number 1 is to attract people to you as a person, opposed to your skills, your product, and your service. It's really a personal branding play. And the second goal is to have people contact you through a form on your brand resume. We are obviously using the attraction marketing principle. So let's keep going. Brand resume musts when adding. So this is when you are adding content to your brand resume. Here is what you must do. You must have content that has helped you and that can help others. I also explained the attract repel concept, which basically means you are qualifying people that are in your lane and that would gel with you. You do not need people on your list that are not going to gel with you, and you do not need to please everyone. So in essence, I'm really teaching you to be yourself and not change your personality to try to please everyone. Let's keep going. Brand resume core components. We build out these core components. Component number 1, your story, arguably the most important part of your resume. Number 2, your passions. For me, it's health and wealth. Number 3, your experiences. This is super important to document your journey, and I talk about story stitching. I actually teach you exactly how to do it. This is when you intertwine your own personal experiences and make them congruent with the content that you are creating. Another core component that we go through is your lessons learned. This is usually your random section. Next core component is your value. That would be webinars and interviews. Then your credibility. We start integrating testimonials. This is people edifying you. This is an extremely important component on your brand resume. It's like references. Okay, let's keep going. The viral hit theory. Yes, this is where we take stabs at going viral all the time. You have to think like an artist. You have to be yourself. You have to be consistent. You have to be ready. We go through this in great detail. Next is build it and they will come. This is where we actually build your brand resume, and we use the Wix platform. Let's keep going. Content formats. We create video content. We create audio, voice content. This will be for your podcasts. We create text content, and we create pictures, images content, such as branded quotes. Let's keep going. Brand resume menu categories. That's the menu on our brand resume. We have home, we have blog, we have passions categories, self-hacks. Now when I say self-hacks, that goes back to a previous module where I said your content should be based on something that has helped you solve a problem for yourself. That's what we mean by self-hacks. Because if it helps solve a problem for yourself, it will more than likely help solve a problem for others. You want to have a category of shows. Yes, your own shows. You want to have a category of webinars. Webinars would be like classroom teachings in whatever your niche is. You want to have a category of interviews. People interviewing you and you interviewing people. You want to have a category of testimonials. Those would be the references I just mentioned. And you want to have a category dedicated to your story. That's the about section. Let's keep going. Create and nurture your content. So first we go through consistency. Start creating and do not stop. Secondly, notify and nurture your audience of your new content. Let them know. You keep letting them know as your list grows. Then you want to schedule your content creation. Then you want to be aware of the give versus ask ratio. That's a 7-to-1 ratio formula. What that basically means is you give 7 times free value before you ask for something once. My whole income generating strategy is based on this model, or should I say on this ratio formula. And there you go. That's the course. Okay, that's what I sell all the time, regularly, almost on a daily basis for $2,000, and I want you guys to have it for basically nothing because you watched the entire replay here today. So let's go. I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm not going to be salesy at all because what I've done in the past and what I will do for you today is I will give you every single course in this school. Let me go to all courses. We have 10,000 TikTok followers in 10 days. I'm not sure if you're on TikTok or using TikTok, but you should not be ignoring TikTok for lead generation. It's absolutely insane. We have Octo content model. I will go through this really quickly in just a second. You will understand why I need to share this with you. That one is $5,000. That's our best course. That's how to syndicate to all platforms. So in short, your brand resume hosts all of your content, right? Well, how do you get people to your brand resume? You post your content on all 8 social media platforms. That's what Octo content does. We'll go through that in a sec. It'll just take me a few minutes. The reason I need to go through this in a sec is because I had a webinar where I sold Octo content model. And what I did on that webinar is, instead of selling Octo content model for $5,000, I sold it for $98, and I threw in brand resume for free, and I threw in 10,000 TikTok followers for free, and I also threw in my Pinteresting results course for free. My Pinteresting results course is how I went from less than 100 monthly viewers on Pinterest to over 1 million monthly viewers in less than 30 days. Here it says, in this course, I share what I am doing to get these results, how I am doing it, and how I will benefit from these results. This sells for $500. I threw that in as well. I'll just show you the TikTok course really quickly, how I went from less than 200 random TikTok followers to over 10,000 targeted TikTok followers in less than 10 days. In this course, I share what I am doing to get over 1,000 new targeted followers daily, and I will show you exactly how I am doing it. I'll go back. So anyone who bought Octo content model on a past webinar, they only paid $98 instead of $5,000. And they also got brand resume thrown in, and they also got TikTok followers thrown in for free, and they also got Pinteresting results thrown in for free. So they got all of these courses unlocked for life for one payment of $98, and that's what I'm going to do for you guys here today as well. Now I'm going to give you a coupon code to unlock all of these 4 courses right now. This coupon code will be for one payment of $98, and it will be to unlock Octo content model, not brand resume. That's what we talked about today. It will be to unlock Octo content model. And then within 24 hours, all of your courses will be automatically unlocked. I have an admin that sees the code, and when they see the code I'm about to give you, that coupon code, it unlocks all of the courses within 48 hours. Or 24 hours, but I should say 48 hours to be safe. Between 24 and 48 hours. So if you purchase Octo content right here today with a special coupon code, the $5,000 goes down to $98. You will have Octo content unlocked right now today, not brand resume, but in 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, brand resume will be unlocked, TikTok followers will be unlocked, and Pinteresting results will be unlocked, and you will own all of these 4 courses for life just by logging into your back office. In the school, social media is the new Hollywood. So we've been on for a while. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you how to do this right now, and then I will share with you the clip from the webinar where I did this offer. The clip is only about 5 minutes long. And I also want to show you what Octo content model contains, because when you combine Octo content model with brand resume, you are literally unstoppable. You will become an influencer. You will become famous online. Brand resume is like your home. It's your resume. But Octo content drives the traffic. It drives the traffic from social media to your brand resume 24/7 on a regular basis, and it's grabbing from all of the social media platforms consistently. So you almost need them both to rise to the top, which is why I love bundling them together. But keep in mind, they do sell for $5,000 and $2,000 on the website. So let's go. The first thing you need to do, guys, is open up a free student account at Social Media is the New Hollywood. And the way you do that, let's start here. You go to sign in, right in the top right hand corner. Then the next step is to create a new account right below here, the little link in the center. Click that. Then you enter your first name, your last name, your email, and your own password. You will need these credentials every time you log into your school. As a student, that's where your courses will be unlocked. So this is all you need to do. There is no mobile number to check or anything. So since I already have a demo account for this, I will click this. I already have an account. I will log in. I'll put in my password. Okay, and this is what your dashboard will look like when you log in for the first time. It will not have any courses. So what you want to do, you want to go to all courses. You want to go to Octo Content Model. You want to go to buy for $5,000. Once you land here, you want to click on the have a coupon link right here. Click that. Then this box will appear. Here is where you will put your special code, and it will bring this $5,000 down to $98. The special code is PitchFest. Just like that. Not click the PayPal button. I'll repeat that. Do not click the PayPal button here. Click the apply button right here, like this. Wait for it to load, and there you go, $98. Then you can go ahead and pay with PayPal. It will unlock your Octo Content Model course as previously mentioned. That will happen instantly, and then within 24 to 48 hours, all of your 3 other courses will also be unlocked for life. Now, if the PitchFest code does not work, it means this offer is over, okay? It will just say invalid code. And if that happens, I apologize in advance. That just means that we are firm on the $5,000 price for Octo Content, and it also means that we are firm on the $2,000 price for Brand Resume. It just means the offer is over. So now you know how to make this happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you briefly what's within Octo Content Model, because it is my favorite course in existence. And that's not only because I created it, it's because it's all I do. I have my brand resume built just like you will as well. And now I just do what we call Octo Contenting. It's our little term. So if you're not convinced yet, let me show you what's in Octo Content Model. I'll just go back like this. Octo Content Model was a 6-month mentorship program. Kind of like Brand Resume, but this was for 6 months, half a year. I will share with you the overview where Oliver the Octopus explains everything. It's a super short video. And if you don't take my offer after seeing Oliver, with everything you've seen on Brand Resume, and the fact that you're getting Octo Content here today as a bonus, well, then you're good. If you're not going to do this, then you're good. You can do your research on YouTube and Google and make it happen, or not make it happen. So before I show Oliver, I will scan through quickly what the modules are. Session 1, Content Creation. Session 2, Optimize, Finalize, Pillar Content. Session number 3, Automated Webinars. Session number 4, Am I Live or Am I Memorex? How to go live and appear to be live when you're not really live. It's a trade secret. Session number 5, Creating your custom quote images and cover art. Session number 6, Creating lead capturing video clips. Session number 7, Creating audio for your podcast and Alexa skills. Yes, we go onto all of the home devices, folks. And yes, we create your podcast. Check it out. Session number 8, if you don't have a blog, you're basically homeless. Session number 9, Populating your perfect blog post with content. See how that ties into Brand Resume? Session number 10, your RSS feed, your channel art, and your iTunes podcast. We start your podcast. We build it from scratch. Session number 11, creating your Amazon Alexa flash briefing. If you don't know what this means, it means that your podcast is syndicated into Alexa home devices. It's absolutely insane. Each of these modules took from 1 to 2 weeks to teach, and they're extremely complex. So don't expect to finish this course in a matter of a couple of weeks. It's like getting your doctorate in marketing. So keep going, and all we do next is syndicate to all social media platforms. So let me go play Oliver, and he will wrap things up, and you will understand in just a couple of minutes what this course will teach you to do. So go ahead, Oliver. Hey guys, this is Oliver the Octopus, and Oliver is going to help us demonstrate the Octo Content syndication model today, as well as how we implement the Octo Content model in the Laboom Squad. So this model is engineered to grow your audience by syndicating your content across the top 8 social platforms. Now, first things first, I like to give credit where credit is due. This model is based on the Gary V content model, how to make 30 pieces of content from one single keynote. Quite frankly, if it weren't for Gary Vaynerchuk, we would not be here today. When I first heard of this, I was in complete disbelief that I could make 30 different pieces of content with one video. Well, as it turns out, it is the perfect model, or should I say almost perfect. I only say that because we dug deeper, we filled in the blanks, we dove very deep into the details, and we added an execution plan, which is a WMO, which is a weekly method of operation. So the Octo Content model is not only conceptual, it's also very tactical. So before we get started, I'd like to thank you, Gary Vaynerchuk, on behalf of the Laboom Squad for making our Octo Content model even possible. And I have no doubt in my mind that a few influencer superstars will be born because of this. So here we go. We're going to get started with the visual representation of what Oliver's job is once your pieces of content are created. Then once you understand what Oliver's job is, then we'll go into exactly how to create 30 pieces of content from one 15-minute video. Oliver's job is to bring you new audience members every single day from all 8 platforms that we specified today. Oliver will go out, get you audience members, and bring them back to your blog. Yes, you will absolutely need a blog. We'll talk about the specifics at the end of the video. But in short, you own your blog. You don't own the social media platforms. If anything happens to those platforms, you lose your audience and you do not have their contact information. And way too many more reasons to why you need a blog. Too many to start listing right now. But when people land on your blog, we in the Laboom Squad capture everyone who lands there, even if they don't fill in an email. We capture them in several ways, including some Facebook pixel retargeting code, including the code for a LinkedIn Insight tag, including a G tag. So when someone simply lands on your blog, you can retarget to all of these people on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Google. Then on top of that, of course, there will be forms on your blog where people can add to their email in exchange for free value, as well as places where you can collect text numbers for your SMS texting campaigns. So this is why we stuck the blog right up there. Now, once you give Oliver your 30 pieces of content, he will use that content as bait to go get food. What I mean by that is your quote-unquote bait would be your content going out, and the quote-unquote food that he'll be retrieving will be your audience members. So as you will see at the end of this video, when we implement the weekly method of operation, the pieces of content are native to the platforms in which we are retrieving from, which means they look different. It's not the same video or image. So here are the 8 platforms. We start with LinkedIn. Oliver sends out content specific for LinkedIn with a specific call to action tailored to LinkedIn users. Next, he will do the same thing for Twitter. Next, he will do the same thing for YouTube. The 4th fishing hole that Oliver is going to capitalize on is Facebook. Then it's Instagram. And now we're going into audio platforms. Oliver's going fishing on SoundCloud. He's going fishing on iTunes. And he's even going fishing on Amazon's Alexa. Now, as you can probably imagine, content on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Alexa are completely different from each other. If that's what you're thinking, you are correct. So to sum it up, your content is going out in the right native formats to each platform with a call to action to bring audience members back. Are you guys with me so far?
Please, sir. I want some more.
Okay, let's give you a little more. Let's give you a visual representation of what it would look like for audience members to be sucked into your blog. So Oliver spits out a LinkedIn post. There will be two types that go on LinkedIn. There will be video clips and there will be images. The smiling emoji is an audience member that sees your post, appreciates the value, and decides to get more value because that's what your call to action is. And there he goes. Oliver scores. Oliver used the free value in order to get the LinkedIn user to check out more information, or even better, to get more value. Now, there may be different types of people hanging out on Twitter, but they are still people nevertheless. This is why we tailor our content natively. Oliver puts out the Twitter content on Twitter and gets Twitter audience members from Twitter. While this is happening on LinkedIn and Twitter, the same is happening on YouTube, the same is happening on Facebook, the same thing's happening on Instagram, the same thing is happening on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Alexa, which are a completely different set of audience members because they don't watch video, they listen to podcasts and sound clips. And this happens all the time, all day long. New people see your video. Oliver continues to get new audience members and then look right to your blog. Do you see the power of going onto all of these different platforms with different types of audience members? I really hope so. This is the future. This is how you become a global influencer. This is how you get recognized and are omnipresent, which means everywhere all the time. Now I ask you, how exciting would it be if this was happening for your business?
Please, sir. I want some more.
Yes, I'm sure you want more and you're going to get more right now. Let's talk about the tactics. How do we possibly implement this? It would take a team of people to film, take pictures, record you, cut up the videos. Hours and hours and hours of content just to make this happen. Here's where the WMO comes in. Your WMO, weekly method of operation, is to create one 15-minute value video. I'm using Gary as an example. Here would be one of his 15-minute videos. That's the job done. From that video, we clip out what we call video clips. Those are clips from the original video that are approximately 2 minutes long. We add captions to the video clips, and these are used for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Now I want you to ignore the different clothing in these videos that Gary's wearing. I just grabbed these as examples of what we're doing, but in our case, of course, we'll have the same clothes on because we are in fact taking clips from the long form 15-minute video. Next, we take screenshots from the video. Once again, ignore Gary's clothing. We will have the same clothes on. So we take snapshots from the video and then we apply quotes to them. We refer to these as images because that's what they are. We use the images on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter. Next, we strip the sound from the original video. And that sound file will be used for SoundCloud, iTunes, and Alexa flash briefings. So all of these pieces of content come from the original 15-minute video. That 15-minute video will be used for your YouTube, and it is the video that will be sitting on your blog. So by following and executing on the Octo content model, you will literally be creating 30 pieces of content from a 15-minute video, and you will be spitting them out on all 8 platforms, constantly retrieving new audience members into your audience. And there we have it. Thank you, Oliver. I'm going to close that out. Okay, so you guys know what to do. You know what to do. I'm not going to repeat it. What I will do is you can rewind this video. I just showed you how to apply the PitchFest coupon code. But what I will do now is I will share the short clip, I think it's 5 minutes, from when I made this actual offer, the offer you are getting, which is to buy Octo Content Model for $98 instead of $5,000. Now you probably see why it's $5,000, why we sell it for $5,000, right? I'll show you the actual clip from the actual webinar where I make this offer. So I'm going to switch over to that, and I will see you guys on the inside. Bye-bye now. Everybody, give yourselves a hand. That was amazing. We did it. We did it. Yes, let's speak. Rebecca.
Question.
Yes.
How do I buy your course?
Social media is thenewhollywood.com.
Okay.
You have to open up a free student account. Just click on Octo Content Model. I'll put it in the chat right here. The link is right in the chat.
All right. How do I get to the chat? Hold on.
And one thing about that, guys, is if you do that, you have to put the coupon code in, and then you have to tap apply code and see the discount before. Don't just put the code in and purchase. It'll charge you the $5K. If you have
So is it Pitch Fest 2021?
Just Pitch Fest.
Okay, just Pitch Fest. Okay.
Octo Content, what a journey that was, eh? Those of you who were on that one. Oh, it changed my life. Now that changed my life. That changed my life. That's all.
Y'all did really, really well.
I did it. So I signed up for a new account, and then the coupon code, you just put Pitch Fest, and then that's it.
That's right.
And then if I hit apply, it should say, oh, it says $98. See that? There you go.
Awesome. Anyone who doesn't have it, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? Because the people that are here, there's not many people here. Oh, shit. I already started talking. I got to finish.
Say it. Say it.
I'm going to also throw in the $2,000 brand resume course, which is the foundation of my success. And I will also throw in the $1,000 TikTok course, 10,000 TikTok followers in 10 days. And
Come on now, dude.
And I will also throw in the $500 Pinterest course on how I got to 1 million monthly viewers on Pinterest in 30 days. I'm throwing, that's like, what, 10, 12 grand of stuff for 98
Mark,
bucks.
you're awesome. Thank you.
You have to do it tonight.
My credit card.
Yeah, you have to do it tonight, and it has to be, you have to
So
have
Mark,
been
is
here.
it forever? Like it's in the library, we pay for it now, it's forever?
It's forever. So you guys are getting everything if you jump in for the 98 bucks. I'm done. Congratulations, those of you who grabbed it tonight. You'll be unlocked with everything, and now I'm going to go in right now.
Thank you, Mark.
Fair enough? Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. This was great.
It was awesome.
Mark.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.